Hey everybody, it's Adrian, coming from you from Remember-Adrian, telling you some of the stories that I learned along my cross-country bike ride that I did a couple years ago from Ocean Beach, California to Key West, Florida. It was a great time, really dug deep into my spirit and from my point of view, really opened up my mind and my eyes to a different way of living, a different way of being, a different way of stepping out of this machine that is really good at grinding us down. And so the lessons I brought back are for you to hear and hopefully learn from, or at least to get them out of my head. One of the lessons I learned was that how the day begins is not how it will end. I seem to think that a lot of my memories came from Texas, maybe because it was such a long and dry portion, but beautiful portion of my bike ride. When I was coming into the first portion of Texas, I think I had been on the road maybe 2 months, and I was coming into an area that I wish I could remember. Not El Paso or something like that, that's too deep, but it was an area where I could cross over into Mexico, and it was actually like a pretty dangerous spot of Mexico. And I was tired. I hadn't been eating a lot. I was getting worn out by the road, all the hills, really the desolation of just the isolation of just being nowhere with just my thoughts and my dog and a hot road. And I remember it being super windy. I had no gear. I was at the bottom of my food. And I went to bed that night uncomfortable, tired. I remember there was a small room that they had, a small TV with a laundry mat in it. And I remember sitting in there just trying to get out of the wind, trying to keep calm, and that night went to bed. Sleeping. I remember that far away there was a wind chime that just kept ringing all night long next to this RV that I was sitting camping next to in the middle of a rocky parking lot. So, folks, I'm uncomfortable. And I'm getting riled up in my head. And when I wake up in the morning, I remember the tent laying flat on my face. Not because any poles were broken, not because anything was wrong with the tent, but that the wind outside was so strong that it was flattening my tent like this. I got irritated like nobody's business, yelling at myself inside of my head that I am not gonna ride anymore. I was pissed. How are you supposed to wake up and enjoy your adventure on a day that you can't sleep, that you are starving, that you are at zero energy, waking up on a gravel ground next to a panting dog in an area that has no food, and the only thing it has to give you is dry weather and hot sun? I was kicking the ground, telling myself that I am not getting in that tent. I'm gonna get on that bike. I am not gonna pedal 1 inch further. It's a tough predicament, because this is real gut check time, folks. This was the time that I got to introduce me to myself. Because what I knew all of a sudden was that I wasn't the one who had the problem. My body had the problem. My body was tired. If my body had rest, I could tell my body to bike. If my body had food in it, it would have the energy to keep moving. If my mind wasn't up all fucking night with the wind flapping on my head, I could probably get to this. Folks, I hemmed, I hawed, went into that small laundry room, sat down, huffed and puffed. And suddenly I realized that I don't give a shit what you say. You're gonna get up and you're gonna get on that bike. You're gonna get up and you're gonna get on that bike, and you are gonna bike in the wind, and we're gonna see what's gonna go down. And boy, was that a great decision. I mean, I am literally folding my tent as wind is flapping it all over the place, rolling it up while the slip of the top of the tent is floating in the wind, and I gotta go run and grab it, and I am cursing. All the while, like the adult in my body saying, put the stuff in the bags, go grab Ferris, hook the trailer to the bike. Come on, man, you can do it. What a beautiful day that turned out to be. It was the most beautiful day of the, well, there's a lot of beautiful days, but one of the most beautiful days where I learned this lesson, man. How your day starts is not how your day will end if you can have the cognitive understanding to navigate your emotions to the next level. Because what laid ahead of me was, quite frankly, the wind started to be my friend. I was on this windy road. Sometimes the wind would be at my back. You would see the El Rio Grande River cutting through Texas. Ferris and I found this awesome green field with these beautiful rock formations where all of the water had sanded it down or was created in 7 days. It was beautiful. I took a picture with me and my dog, and actually the day really wasn't that bad. How it started was fucking in hell, man. I was pissed. I would have, but at the end of the day, I'm laying in a grass field with my dog, taking beautiful pictures on the Rio Grande, Texas, while there's turtles in the ground, thinking to myself, what was all the hubbub about? What was all the, I'm not gonna do anything, and the stomping of the feet and the throwing of your shit? What was all that about? What about if I just locked it down earlier and said, hey, I'm gonna move forward, I'm gonna make this happen, who cares what it turns out, I'm the happy guy, I'm gonna make my life the way it is. I think it's really about enjoying your time, the now. This is what it's all about. Right now might suck, but if you let that now take you through the whole day, your whole day will suck, your whole week will suck. And sometimes, if you're not paying attention to how good things are right now, when the times do suck, you don't remember any of the good times. Too busy worrying about what you did in the future, what you did in the past. Folks, how the day begins and how the day ends is entirely up to you. So do yourself a favor. When you get angry, when you get emotional, step outside of where you're at. Don't wear the emotion like a jacket. Hang that jacket in the closet and check the pockets. Maybe you find something you need to deal with. This is Adrian. Thanks for watching. And remember, Adrian.